Hi, Christy. This video is posturing.
Okay, so we're into grip, and I'm sending this to you in segments, so that you can go to grip, and then you can go to posturing, and then you can go to swing back, instead of blasting all that information at once, okay? The width of your stance is always the heels are directly underneath the hip sockets. Any narrower than that, you're going to teeter and you're going to fall off balance. Okay, balance is key in golf because if you're going to fall, your arms are going to do your stabilizing, but your arms need to control this. And if they're trying to keep you up, they're never going to get the club back to the ball. Okay? Alright, so a good solid base is just hips, heels underneath the hips. Okay? Your stance, you want your feet for a straight shot to be heels right on a straight line. Okay, so you wouldn't want one foot closer to the ball than the other. Okay? If the ball out in front of you, I'm just going to put this here, the ball would be resting about there. Okay? And you can see how these two lines match. Alright? So this line right here represents the target line. Okay, that flag will be the target. You see how it's pointing right at it? Yep. Okay? So you want to stand parallel to your target line. Alright? We'll get into that in a second. But just so that you have a reference point for what we're doing. Okay, so I want you to hold the club out in front of you. And I want you to push your hips back until you're almost off balance. Okay? To regain your balance, I just want you to unlock your knees. Okay, now from there, go ahead and let the club rest down on the ground. Okay? Good. Alright, you want to make sure your hips are always way behind your heels, because our hips are what keeps us out of our toes. Alright? If we bend our knees too much and our hips come underneath us, see how that moves your weight up more into your toes? Yeah. So once you get into golf posture, check to see that your hips are back there by tapping your toes. Okay? See how once you tapped your toes, it pushed your hips just a little bit further back and gave you that balance? Yeah. Good. So once you're in posture, I should be able to come push it this way and you're solid, and push it that way and you're solid, okay? Just be able to knock you over at all. Okay? Great. Alright, so that's posturing right there. Now, how far are your arms from the ball? Okay? How close do you stand to the ball? You should always have a hand's width, if I'm pulling the shaft, you should always have a hand's width between the shaft and your thighs. You're going to take your right hand off and pass it. Okay? Now that's cheating. You can't move your hands up. Okay? Good. And then once you replace your right hand on the grip, you can cover that thumb. Okay? Curl your fingers under. Cover the thumb. Curl your fingers under. Index. Good. Okay? When you look straight down from your eyes, the straight line is your thumb. Is that thumb in line with your eyes? Yeah. Okay, good. So any closer, you'd be crowding. The club will be crowding you. Any further, you'd be reaching for it close to your toes, off balance. Okay? But right here, your arms are hanging straight down. Okay? Okay. Now, you got enough room for your arms in this posturing right here, for your arms to be able to swing right back down. For your arms to be able to swing right back down underneath you. Okay? If you were here, you see how your arms would run into you? Okay, good. So your arms are hanging straight down, hang onto the club. Your hands are right in line with your eyes. Okay? And you got a hand's width in between the handle and your thigh. Okay, great. Your arm structure. The left arm, women, we've got to play with our chest. Okay? And as we swing back, sometimes, depending on how endowed you are, that could be an issue. Okay? But we want to keep our arms connected to our body. Okay? So that our body can support our arm swing. So what I want you to do in posture is take your left arm and place it on top of your left breast. Okay? Good. And then the right arm snuggles in just to the underneath side of that hand. So when you're addressing the golf ball, the right elbow is off. And the left arm establishes the radius, the length of your swing, from your shoulder all the way to the club head. So this is always fully extended. Okay? Good. Right elbow set. Alright? Okay. Alright, so now you're in golf posture. Okay? All new. Alright. reaching for the ball, make sure you're not crowding the handle, okay? Make sure your stance isn't too wide or too narrow, okay? Heels are always underneath the hips. And that your stance, you're facing the golf ball, you're standing on a parallel line to the golf ball. When you get into posture, you can see how you did it just perfect. But see how my feet, my knees, my hips, and my shoulders are all the same distance. I'm not twisted. Okay? Good. So you want everything to line up. Okay? Right. All right? Okay. Right. Good. Got any questions?
I think I'm good so far.
Right.
If I move out of the position,
I'll put you back there. That's my job.
Okay, Christy, so that's posturing. The next one's going to be aim and alignment.